Hi, this is Jen with 50 Flowers, and we have a welcome sign that we're going to start putting flowers in. And a neat little trick is you can take these little plant liners that you can get at Walmart, local place, local flower shop, and then you can put your oasis inside of there and line them all up for you to start putting in your flowers. And these are pretty easy to do because what you're doing is you're just giving the illusion that it's a garden. And I have 5 pieces of oasis in here. So everything I'm doing is in 5s. I have 5 hydrangea, 5 delphinium, everything's in 5s. And then I'll fill in with filler flower. Hydrangea is my focal, and I'm going to do it at various heights. I know I want it right here. The bottom of my foam is right here. So I'm going to cut it just slightly over it, above that, because you don't want the stem all the way to the bottom. You want it to be able to drink some water. See how it has some different heights there? And you can do this all different ways. This is just a really fun way to make a meadow. So I like doing my big focal flower first. Then I'm going to start putting my line flowers in. So I've got some beautiful light blue delphinium. This is our #1 seller with 50 Flowers. I just love how flowers dance. And I think I want to do another really long one over here. So I'm just going to take off just a little bit. You always want to give a fresh cut before you insert it in water. See how I'm measuring, and then I'm going to cut. And it's always better to cut little because you can't ever put it back. I can always go back and cut off a little bit more. So I've just always worked with a knife. It gives a very clean cut, but not great for DIY brides sometimes because that can be scary because you can cut yourself. You can use either one, floor shears or a knife. Do not use regular household scissors. The ends of a stem have a lot of little vessels in there that need to drink water. And when you use household scissors, it pinches it and it can't drink water. And then your flowers will go down. Now I'm going to add my second line flower, which is pink snaps. If you hear the music in the background, my husband and daughter are practicing their father-daughter dance. So I'm going to try not to cry. My husband and daughter have a very, very close relationship. And one thing about snaps, when you have stuff sitting up, you want to keep alternating the flowers around because it will tend to keep growing. You keep hydrating in the direction that you have them. So I had them sitting in the bucket like this. So now they're like this. But you know what? It gives it character. This color palette is pastels. And because we're in a very greenery, my daughter's getting married in like a forest area, we wanted just a little bit of pop of color with the pastels. So this is the Candy Expression Rose. Sometimes you get little blemishes on the outside of the petals. These are called guard petals. They protect the rose. It's very common. And you just pluck them off and the rose still looks perfect. So when I'm working like this, I kind of just like to work in odd numbers a little bit. So I do have 5 of these, but I'm going to save the last 2 because as you start filling up, you start seeing where you have some holes. So next I'm going to put in my other big focal flower, which are these dahlias. So dahlias, or they're also cremones. They mimic a dahlia. So a dahlia isn't as hardy as a cremone. So I can make this ahead of time, have it in the foam. It's going to work out perfectly. So sometimes when you get a bunch of flowers in, and I got like 100 of these in, you might get some that shed. And that's just part of being a florist. I always like to figure about 10% waste, and it happens. That's why I brought extra. This is our top selling white rose. You can open up a rose by spinning it. You can also gently take your finger very gently and kind of push the petals out. So nice big open rose. Every once in a while, you want to stand up and look at it from the way that your guests are going to look at it. You always get to the end and start seeing holes that you want to start filling in. But that's what's great about filler flower. We've got lots of feverfew and filler flower to fill in those holes. These are our shimmer rose, which they have like a peachy pink. Kind of pulls in the peach and the pink. So you see I have it here in this hole. I'm going to put one here in this hole. With spray roses, you can break them off. You can use them whole or you can break them off. I'm going to break this one off. This is when you start messing with different heights. Today's the day before the wedding. I'm going to fill this up with water. I'm going to spray it with a finishing spray, or you can mist it with water, and it'll just sit here and then we'll set it out there. So this is a simple thing that you can do the day before, and you just make sure that it's hydrated really well overnight, because our flowers are farm fresh. They do drink a lot of water, and you got to make sure
I have the
everything
spray?
stays hydrated.